Hey, what's going on, everybody? Suro here. Welcome back to the channel. We finally got a response from the developers about all of the craziness that's been going on with Ark and Ark Survival Ascended, and this week has been pretty intense. Now, we just got the community crunch yesterday, and while they provided some new stuff, it wasn't exactly what the player base was looking for, and they lit up the Discord. The official Discord was on fire last night. They had to actually implement a slow mode for hours, and it was just pretty chaotic. So we're gonna dive right into the dev responses. And also, there is a little bit of some good that's coming out with this. We are pretty much getting confirmation that it is going to release on track, on time, and all that good stuff. Now, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you haven't already. We are going to be the #1 news source when it comes to Ark Survival Evolved. That is my goal. I'm going to be hitting you guys with all the information, and guides are my specialty. I have a second YouTube channel for a completely unrelated game, and guides are where I come in, so you definitely want to stick around. So let's take a look. We all know Dolly, right? So Dolly said, "Hey, I get the disappointment and I have empathy, but it's hard to feel upset along with you because I know how much is coming and how soon it is." Oof, I don't know. I am all about positive vibes, but that line right there, I felt like she could have adjusted it and changed it, because they said, it's hard to feel upset along with you because I know how much is coming. So I know where they were trying to say. They're trying to say, I know what's happening next week, so I can't really be bothered with it but I feel like she should have tried to relate to us a little more, at least been on our side of the situation when it comes to this. So they said, "Don't get me wrong, I have empathy for how excited some of you made yourself." That right there, that line, that line right there, I have empathy for how excited some of you made yourselves for this crunch, but I'm really not pressed. This next week is fire. So at least they're confirming that next week is going to be insane. We've seen this on the community crunch. We've seen other developers that have made that same line. I don't know if they're just trying to build up hype because they actually have something good coming out next week, or if it's just a wild card classic. So they said, "Please chill on the ASI spam though. We are sadly just right-click banning people spamming it because our mods can't keep up. 2-hour cooldown on chat. Great interest indicator though. I love you spammers. It's gonna be okay." So what we can gather from this is they're pretty much saying that next week is gonna be awesome, and just chill out, and I guess so. All right, move on. Let's move on to the next one. So then they wanted to say, if you look at the context of this response, it was someone asking last week something akin to, "What is this crunch?" right after it was posted, and I replied, "The one after I said to temper expectations," aka I did give the people asking a heads up on that day. I don't really understand this one because they could have just made an announcement. They know that the game has been delayed multiple times. They know that we're coming up against the wire, against the wall, that the release is supposed to happen next week. So I do wish that they would handle things differently. I do think that we are doing a lot of assuming, and I think the whole situation is kind of chaotic, and this is where the developers, they need to kind of bring it back and be more transparent with the community. I think what they're doing here is, I think they're building hype. I actually do think that the game is going to get a release. We're going to get a trailer next week. But I think that their marketing strategy for this one is definitely an insane one, an interesting one, and I don't think it's a right one, but I do think it's going to get the numbers that they're wanting to see. So whenever you're doing marketing and stuff, you're always trying to do something differently. I haven't really seen a game company delay their game multiple times and then do this to their community. But the thing about Ark is, it's in a place, it's like Call of Duty. No matter how many of us don't like it, we're all going to buy it almost every year, right? So we know that there are millions of fans for Ark, and we're all going to buy it, and they know that. So then over the years, they've realized that, hey, we can pretty much do whatever we want. And then that is where I think this marketing strategy is coming into play, because imagine all this hype and then the amount of YouTube videos that's going to come out over this next week. But the trailer will be everywhere. People are going to be blowing up Discord, Reddit, Twitter, all this. And then people are going to impulse buy this game rather than taking the time, the weeks, the months to actually decide if this is something they're actually happy with. And I think that's why they're just releasing it. Because if you think about Ark 2, they had no issues releasing trailers for that years ago, and then we actually didn't even get it, and now they're pretty much saying like Ark 2. I don't even know if it's actually real or if it's still just a thought, because it's like years away now when it was supposed to release a while ago. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting strategy. I would love to get your guys' opinion in the comment section below. And like I said, I'll be checking all my notifications and everything for the next weeks. Like, I will be hammering out all the news, all the information. So be sure you are sticking around the channel if you're up for that. But I do think we have some really cool stuff on the horizon. So then somebody said, how soon though? And then Dolly responded with pretty much just a little caption from the community crunch. We're looking forward to the week ahead. It's going to be a fun one, winky face. So that's pretty much where we're at on the situation. That is the only developer response that we've gotten so far. They're confirming that next week is going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. And they're not going to give us any information. Now, the thing I'm a little worried about with this strategy, for one, you know, obviously we're all being super impatient, but people have work, people have school, you know, we all have our own things, our personal life, our private life. We have things outside of the gaming world, and it would be nice to have a release date to be able to adjust this. You know, some workplaces you can't like request off for 3 weeks in advance or 2 weeks in advance. If they just randomly drop this next week, like they actually just drop the game, that's going to be a huge, like, you know, FU to all of those players, all those people that are going to be stuck at work. And then also, if they just randomly drop it like that, and the amount of hype that they're building around this game, do you guys remember way back when Ark first came out? Do you remember how you would have to sit there and spam like A, B, A, B, A, B over and over trying to get into the servers? I remember, like, no joke, I would have to spend like 8 hours straight, A, B, just nonstop trying to join server just to get in, only to eventually get kicked out. So are these servers going to be able to handle this, especially with the graphics that they're showing off, like with the Raptor picture? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a pretty heavy duty, especially with it being like their first time diving into Unreal Engine 5. The technical aspects, no beta, no nothing. I don't know. It's pretty crazy, their strategy. I hope it pays off. I do think the game overall is going to be great, but the way they're launching it, I'm not so sure about that. But definitely let me know your guys' comments below. I'll be sure to read them and get back to you. And yeah, we have a long journey ahead with Ark Survival Ascended. It's definitely going to be interesting, but I'd love to have you guys along with the ride. Hope you guys have a really wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.